Alright guys, hey, welcome back again. This is Cole Patterson with the first of our advanced tutorials on in Illustrator. Now, we won't be going over anything fresh. That's going to be its own category. At the time of recording this, Adobe Max had rolled out a bunch of new features for all of their programs, including Illustrator, and I wanted to dedicate that to its own page, even though some of them definitely do fit the category of advanced. Apologies, getting a sip of water. We'll go ahead and get into this. This tutorial will be talking about the Freeform gradient. Now, the Freeform gradient works a little bit different from the other gradient tools used here. Namely, in that within the gradient tool, which if you'll recall is G, the freeform gradient works based off of putting anchor points within the fill of a shape, and then each of them having their own little radial blur that kind of fights in bumper cars against one another. Now, this has a lot of potential to do a lot of interesting things, but also has a lot of potential to become an absolute mess. So we're going to start by making an absolute mess, because it's fun to do. It's like, if when learning a new tool, we focus every second of our attention on making sure that the outcome looks pretty, we never truly learn. So for now, let's just make a nice little rainbowy mess. Now let's deselect and see how that looks. That actually doesn't look nearly as bad as I thought that it would. Does it have its issues? Yes. Yes, it has plenty of issues with it, but I actually really enjoy this. This looks pleasant. It's rainbowy, it's fun. It's fairly straightforward to use. This is an easy tool to learn, a very hard one to master. Let's take something a little more precise in its approach. So let's go ahead and pull out our pen tool, and what we're going to do is we're going to make the shape of a simple, humble banana. Will it be a perfect banana? No, not even remotely. But this will be a banana nonetheless. There, we have a banana. Now, using only the no strokes, only fill, and using only the freeform gradient tool. Oop. We will see if we can make something that looks close to a banana. So of course the first thing that we will need is a nice yellow. Let's pick something a little closer to this color. Yeah, that seems like a nice neutral color to give. Let's pop another one down, and let's go a little darker, a little warmer. A little closer to brown, if you will. Maybe not quite that much. We'll do that and darken that. Ooh. See what we can do about that. Alright, let's take something about that color. Okay. I do wish that sometimes that the controls for the colors were a little more forgiving here, but we do what we must. Yeah, I don't have beef with that. We can make that like that, and then enlarge this a bit, and then spread it out throughout here. We'll also take another one of these and push it down here a bit. And one of these doesn't have to be exactly the same color, just has to capture the same energy, and put it down here. We will make this one a little bit darker. Increase the spread on it. And all of that does is increase its range. Now we will go a little bit darker. I want this to be a little less green, a little more brown. A little closer to yellow. Yeah, that has a bit of an unsightly color to it that I like. Though I don't think it plays well. So we'll go back warm. Yeah, there we go. And we'll put this down here. Move this here. Place another one here. And we'll move all of these in just a bit because I have a plan for what to do next that involves a little more red and a little more green and a little less blue. Something about like that to make a nice cream light color. Yeah, just so. And we'll start moving that about to create a highlight. Like this. Again, this is a very fun tool to use, very simple to use, but getting it to do just exactly what you want, there's really no shortcut for it. All you can do is make it work for you through patience. And trial and error. It's definitely the least mathematic, or at least the least practically mathematic, of the gradient tools. And certainly the very, very most visual. So we'll take that and we'll make that just a little bit yellow. A little more yellow, about like that. Okay. Take one of these and place it here. And one of these and place it here. And for a few minutes of work, let's take a step back and see what we've got. We've got ourselves a fairly nice little banana. And from there, we could go in and let's slap on a nice, not quite black, how about a nice earthy brown outline. And then let's just top it off with one line right here. Ooh, without all of that noise. Just kind of putting that in right where it's needed. And we're going to do what we were talking about in our previous tutorial with tapering lines with the width tool. And look at that. That is a healthy banana. Have you ever seen such a fine fruit? Never in your life. Not once, boy. Not once, son. And that was just a few minutes of work to make a very, very nice banana. Now, this admittedly was a bit more of an improvise tutorial. There are a lot of things you can do with with the Freeform gradient tool, from simple abstract backgrounds to very complex shading. But for the most part, when you use this will be something that you do in projects that are considerable in size, and you've already put a lot of man-hour in on making and layering and perfecting the shapes and colors already. This is the last step of fine-tuning for the most part, at least in my experience. So a project that starts with this is a bit hard to synthesize, and a banana was the first thing that came to mind. But I feel like we've made a pretty good one today, and I feel like you could go about and make really anything else with it if you so desired it. So with that out of the way, what we'll be going over next tutorial will be the effects column in the top left. We'll be going over some of the different things that we can do up here and which ones really stand out. Until then, though, I hope you learned something, and have a great day.